Every single move in the stock market can be explained. Every single move. I've been doing this 10 years and I can confidently look at you in the face and say I can understand every behavior in the market. Wouldn't that be a great thing to know every behavior in the market? How much headache, frustrations, losses, unnecessary losses that you have taken because you didn't understand what was happening? Wouldn't that be great if you understood it? The outcome of your trading career can be changed. I'm going to explain everything that I know in under 10 minutes. I'm going to keep it 10 minutes here, guys. Look, I have the Z Monopoly Psychology channel, but that's focused on scalp and psychology. But for most of you investors, swing traders, you have it difficult because with a scalper, they can tell what the next move is based on certain factors, patterns, the candles, the momentum, but that's within 15 minutes or hour. But what about the guy who's suffering for a month, weeks? Well, it would be very pleasant if we could actually understand why the market is performing or behaving in such ways week in, week out, month in, month out. So the last 5 months, for example, you've had so much volatility, and you had Trump, tariffs, wars, recession, bear market, fear of a slowdown of an economy, the Fed's pulling interest rates off the table, interest rates cuts. So you see, you had so much, guys, in only 5 months. We're now entering month 6. I think it's 6 months now. Now, nobody really understood what the long-term effect on the market was in April or in March when the crash happened. Okay, everybody decided to walk away, especially amateur traders, noobs, they decided to walk away from the market. Today is June. The market is all-time high, the Nasdaq. Yet it's all-time high, but somehow certain stocks that used to be all-time high when the market was all-time high few months ago, 6 months ago, are not all-time high, and matter of fact, they're struggling while their peers maybe are performing. How can you interpret that and explain that behavior? So the same stocks that were all-time high when the market was all-time high are not all-time high today when the market is all-time high after the crash. How can you explain that? Well, it's simple, right? There are certain factors that certain stocks benefit from while certain stocks don't. Okay? Those factors are usually in the economy. They're not in the stock market directly. So, for example, let's take an example with one of the trades I'm in, Marathon Digital Holdings. This is a Bitcoin stocks, Bitcoin all-time high, and when Bitcoin was all-time high, Marathon was all-time high too, right? While the market was all-time high. So, it's not all-time high, matter of fact. Its peer is outperforming it. So, when I'm looking at this, I'm so frustrated. For an average trader, it's like, I'm going to close this trade, walk away. I'm not feeling it anymore. Well, its peers are outperforming it. What the hell? Well, yeah. But you have to understand that competition doesn't have the same dynamics, same fundamentals as that other stock, Marathon. So, for example, Irene Limited is almost zero in debt, okay, and it's profitable. It's generating profits. While the other company is a holding company, it's taking out debt to leverage, of course, to buy Bitcoin, and it's not, it's not profitable in general. So, what influences this company to run? That's your next question. Rates, low rates, just like any other growth stock, just like real estate. So you understood now the factor that's affecting that specific stock. So you're not going to sell at a loss, you just wait because that factor isn't available in the market. Even if markets make all-time highs, there's other stocks that are lifting it. Now, markets just made all-time high. I sent out an alert. And I said to the group, I said, the market is going to pull back now that it's broke out from all-time highs. Why would I say that? Well, why would the market run when the general picture is that there's going to be a slowdown in the economy and rates are still high. So why would the market break out now? See, you just anticipated the next move. The next move is, well, for this move, it's a fake. It's a fake rally. So the next move is a pullback. What happens when there's a pullback? Instantly, people say, oh, this is a double top. There it is. It's a double top. It's not a double top. It's just the market ran ahead of time. And I'm just giving you certain scenarios, but there's thousands of other scenarios that you will learn over time. I have 10 years doing this. I know every single outcome. Now, 2020 was new to me, of course, because I've never seen oil go sub-zero. I've never seen an economy shut down. So this was a new lesson for me. And you will learn lessons time and time again. But they're usually the same thing, right? Economists will kind of tell, they'll understand it better than the trader. Economists, they understand it better than traders. They understand what's affecting it. But every move can be explained psychologically or via the economy, or what's happening around headlines in the world. And I'm talking about the bigger picture. And same thing can be explained about day traders. You understand certain psychological factors that affect traders, stop losses, price movements, momentums, all of that can be understood. So how do we beat the markets, guys? You do not blink. You don't even move an eyelash whenever there's a kind of volatility in the market. If you're not a day trader, what do you made your bet. Did you buy a stock that's not going to go bankrupt? If you check that list, you're in good hands. Did you buy a stock that has some cash? Check the list. Does it have liquidity? Check the list. You just eliminated the two biggest fears and risk for me personally. Delisting, bankruptcy. And did you buy a stock that has a future? There. That's it. You forget about everything else. No headline, no news, nobody, not even an investor or the most professional investor should move you from that trade. Remember that the Big Short guy, Michael Burry, when he said sell back in a year ago? Do you know what happened? The markets went all-time high, guys. But he understood it that event that was happening was something that he's encountered before, or he thought those factors in the economy he's seen before, right? See? But there was another thing that was thrown at it that he did not anticipate, and that's why the market rallied. And that's why he came out later and said, you know what, I made a mistake. This time is different. This time is different, guys. So our biggest weapon, really, he thought he's gonna, do the bubble thing where the real estate market crashed. The beauty of a bubble is you just can't see it, right? So the reality of the markets, they always go up, guys. If you're an investor, if you're a swing trader, put yourself in a growing sector in a stock, and look. Maybe you get unlucky and you go 6 months without making money. Maybe you go unlucky and you go 7 months without money. I mean, I went 6 months without making money. Recently, I closed the trade. I Limited. You guys know. I've made videos about it here on YouTube, and I told you guys to buy. And I know a lot of you have bought that stock. I'm up 60% when I closed it. A lot of you are now up 70, even 150%, some of you. Okay? So you bought while everybody was selling, and you believed in it, and you listened to my voice. One thing I can tell you guys, markets will always go up. It's just time. Some people get fed up and say, I want my money back. I'm just going to liquidate. Even if it's at a loss, I want to liquidate. And this is something you'll maybe experience in the crypto world as well. You kind of start to disbelieve. You just don't feel it anymore, right? And, everybody needs to have their confidence really written in stone. So it doesn't change, it doesn't move, because it's so easy to get talked out of things when the markets are volatile, and maybe you go through periods where like World War III was kicking off. Everybody said, oh, this is it, it's going to crash. It's the biggest crash in history. You got Michael, that guy, the rich dad, poor dad guy, he wrote a book and suddenly now he thinks he knows it all. The beauty of the market, nobody knows it all. You can think like I did here in the video, and I told you that I think I know every single move and behavior, but the reality is I probably don't know every single move, and I'll probably be you get a curveball thrown at you. But I know one thing though, and I will never change that mindset, and that is markets always go up. There's nothing that I can do, and if you go into sectors that have growth potential and they'll always be hot, they'll always go up. They'll always go up. They just wait for certain factors to appear, right? And that's why there's a lot of traders that are frustrated today. You know, there's a lot of traders that have seen other stocks move and then their stock is not moving. Like, why would Coinbase skyrocket when crypto isn't really performing? Nobody's buying crypto. So how are they going to make money? So this was just a premature rally. Now, if you say rate cuts are coming down, yes, that will bring liquidity. Liquidity is missing from the market. This here, this liquidity, this is nothing. This is like short positions getting closed out and stuff. And you'll see the next couple of sessions that the market's actually dipping and instead of ripping. And then, of course, when rates come down, then markets skyrocket. But I just want to explain to you the psychology, guys. This is for the bigger picture of the market. They always go up. And sometimes you don't actually understand why they're going down or why they're going up. But over years of actually just watching the screen and watching the momentum, mapping it to other stuff in the markets, you start to come up with theories and theses on why the market is performing the way it's performing. The Z Monopoly Psychology channel is strictly for scalping psychology, guys, and day traders, of course. But this channel, you know what we hear, the big bucks is made. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you made it this far. Appreciate you as always. See you next time. Peace and love. Follow me on Instagram if you want. And see you next time, guys, as always. Bye.